Hello everyone, welcome to Energy First Golf. In this video today we're going to talk about your core feeling. Okay, we already know when you swing there's a downswing sequence, right? So when you load it with your core rotation on top, then on the downswing you're clearing your hips, weight transfer, and then from our previous video we talked about your weight transfer and how you can work on understanding that speed and energy. And from here you should feel like your obliques and your core muscle is going to help you turn your upper torso. And ladies and gentlemen, it has to be that way, okay? Because that's how your body is made, okay? Now I know if I show you this, you can think about it if it's right or wrong. Say example right now, if I do a swing, which we talked about one piece downswing from a previous video, if I do a swing right now, it looks like this. If I go to the top, assuming you load it correctly, but on the downswing you go here, and then you're turning your body, and all your sensation is coming from your shoulders and your arms. Would you feel like there's a disconnection? And also, we know now your upper torso doesn't really turn. Meaning, when I say upper torso, means above your rib cage. They don't have a turning mechanism, but they do have a push and pull feeling. The only way when you turn your upper torso is because your core rotation is allowed that to happen. So from our previous video, we talked about you got to have a separation. At the same time, you also got to have a feeling of a connection. That connection is what we're talking about today. It means how you can feel the separation and then just connection based on the core rotation. If you do this, if you say, hey, I'm going to weight transfer to here, and then I'm going to feel like my shoulders and my arms and my chest is going to create a movement, and then simply put, you're disconnected from your swing sequence. But I know a lot of people say, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is that, remember, we talked about how your shoulder muscles and your chest muscles, there's no rotational movement from your upper body. You will only have a bench press movement or pulling movement. So all of those movements are two-dimensional movement, which is exactly what I've been talking about, and then you will create contradiction, which is exactly what I mean by most amateurs. You're always in the first stage of learning golf. It's called the power struggle. You're dealing with a 3D versus 2D premises, and you're dealing with the muscles producing a push and pull power, which is contradicting from a rotational power or energy, right? And then you have a eyes that's enhancing your impact position image when you don't have a release image. So everything we talked about that we're pointing out, those three things, is minimizing you to learn how to play golf correctly. But in this video, we really want you to feel like once you weight transfer, you really need to focus on your core rotation, right? That's the reason why it's so important for your shoulders to relax and your arms to relax. But again, if you're thinking about trying to hit the ball, they're not going to be relaxed because why? Your shoulders and your arms is going to create what? A power movement to get to the ball. Then you're creating contradiction and power struggle, right? And that power struggle isn't going to allow you to be consistent. At the same time, really, then you don't have any type of control. So right now, as you can see, I'm going to swing, and I really just feel like I'm striking through the ball with my hips and my core, and my body, upper torso is going to follow. My arms are going to follow. As they're following, I know the club is going to rotate. Okay, my arms are very relaxed, right? My arms are very relaxed, and I'm gonna do it one more time. You can see I'm gonna rotate. I'm gonna rotate my hips and turn my core loaded. But honestly, I'm only feeling my hips and my core. And I know I have imaged these arms are releasing. Okay? Now here's an example why everything we talked about is so difficult. And the truth is, if any one of you ride bicycles, think about it. The only way you can go mom no hands is that you gotta have a certain muscle recognition, power from the legs, and core recognition and lower body recognition to create a certain speed to allow the bicycle to go certain speed so you can go mom no hands. Right? So it's the same idea. The only way for you to swing freely to create is to what? Is to create correct energy, to recognize the power where it's coming from. So that way you can be relaxed. Right? So you can see right now, because I have a lot of recognition from my hips and my core, so I'm able to relax from my arms because I don't care if my arms are hitting the ball. But that's exactly what makes golf so difficult. It's against everything that you know as a human. Okay? And there's a lot of two-dimensional principles in the mainstream golf teaching. Two-dimensional principles, external mechanics, how you can hit the ball better. But the problem is that you're not going to develop correctly to play golf. Remember, you can literally feel like you're striking the ball with your hips and your core. Everything else can be relaxed when you develop enough sensitivity and feeling, which in the simplest way to put it, when you develop enough power and energy level from the correct place, then you can really let your arms go. And that's exactly what makes learning golf so tricky. That's exactly what we say. You as an amateur, you don't have the correct energy to begin with. Don't make the assumption that you have the correct energy to begin with. Okay, and that is one of the biggest assumptions that mainstream golf instruction make, which is a mistake. They're assuming that every amateur already have enough power and energy to play golf. All you have to learn is positions. No, that's completely false. You don't have a correct energy. You don't have a correct recognition of a core rotation that you can strike through the ball without thinking about the ball. Right? So, understanding you have to train your body to turn from your hips and your core to create initiation, separation, and connection. I know it sounds kind of contradicting, but the reason why we say that is because in some shape or form, they're not supposed to happen together. That's the problem. You have to feel like you're able to create separation and connection. So that way you can create what? A lot of torque. Because it's very easy to do everything together. But eventually you will do everything in a very fast fashion because your swing is less than a second. So in other words, you will feel like this movement, it's separated but at the same time it's connected. Okay? But trust your body, the muscles in your body can learn. All the fast, slow twitch muscles, all the big muscles, they will collect a lot of data. They will collect a lot of memory for you if you train them correctly. But if all your training is your fast twitch muscles, all your training is your sensitivity that's above your rib cage, one, the fast twitch muscles, they're not going to learn correctly, and they move very fast. At the same time, they'll get tired very quickly. That's the reason why a lot of amateurs are not able to play 18 holes. And you say, well, my arms are getting tired, my shoulders sore. It's because of that reason. And why do you think a professional can play 4 days tournament and be okay? It's because the correct energy first, impact later. Alright, so thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Click like and subscribe to our channel by click on this button right here. And also we have 2 recommended videos if you want to know more about energy first, impact later. and I will see you next time.